This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is Tuesday, September 15th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. She might come back with you. This school is not. I'll let Dad teach me trading. Are we going to go 2 days for 3? Yeah, it's going to be 3 days, 2 weeks. We're going to do the usual schedule. I have a little bit, I'm going to be doing classes a little bit different. Just a reminder, as well as I let everyone know yesterday, but I'll just remind, if you are going to be involved in this round of classes, make sure that you have a microphone, because we're going to be doing something a little bit different when we get into our level 3 and even a little bit before that. So just another reminder. All right, let's talk about what we got going on this morning. First thing is IPOB. So we can see that it made a real nice run on some really nice volume all the way up to that 17 level. We ended up pulling back pretty hard, coming back down to that 15. Now remember, 15 is a big psychological level, but one thing just to look at, it is a bit mixed because there is some selling that came into it on its way down. But if you look, as we've been kind of coming back up, there's been some huge buying that's coming back into this thing at that 15. So pulling back with this much buying certainly looks a lot like they were building and bringing it back down just because it was running too fast, especially in the pre-market. It's going to be very hard to build any type of a big position when a stock is moving that parabolic. So overall, the amount of new buying that's coming into here at that 15 level, I would expect, some gains. Remember, this is not an easy level to start trading, especially once the market opens, right at that 930 point. So definitely going to be looking for that much buying, going to need some type of pullback coming in first, but we certainly, based off that, the positions that we're seeing, should be looking somewhere around this 100,000 share print line that we had at 809 at 16. So after a little bit of a pullback, just remember though, once the market opens, it's very chaotic at a level like this. So not going to be one of the easiest trades, or, at the same time, don't get me wrong, we could just, get that quick pullback and we could blow right past it based off the amount it has. But based off print personality, it certainly, that's just a lot. It really is showing us building at that 15. I personally did not this morning when I looked at it to see anything up there. I'm sure there was some type of, little bit of buying, but I did not see that much. That's where I'm really looking for that building underneath, that move down underneath 15 so that we could go, towards there. Yeah, but the ask at 17, how many were they, Alex? Was it enough for us to really be able to trigger $2 back up towards it? Just based off of looking at it, it does not look like that might have been the case. But overall, like I said, the 15 that's built, it was garbage. Okay, so even though there's a few ask prints there, that's just not enough for us to be able to go back up to. That's why best case scenario and highest probability is the building pulling back from that 15, moving back towards it. Next thing, VXRT, obviously going to be on our list today. Remember yesterday, we had just a ton of buying that came in at this 8 level. We're talking about 3 really big bursts that came in there. So pullback pretty decent. You're talking about 720, from yesterday, and we're kind of moving back towards that upside. Now we do have to worry about 8 getting hit again, because for one thing, we know for a fact there's a big market maker that's sitting there. So it's more than likely not going to just be an easy level that it blows past. So keep that in mind as we're going into our trading. But it has all the buying that it needs for us to be able to break past where these highs are at that 850. PSTV. Next one I'm going to look at now. I kind of like this, and the reason I kind of like this is just because it's been holding this trigger very, very well. You can see we really have not went back down from underneath. Now, if we break past right about here, right about 310, and we break past this 3, I'm probably not even going to be looking at it anymore. But if we continue to hold, there is a little bit of buying that came in there. Not a huge amount, but for the time of day that it was at 7:30, 7 o'clock, coming towards these highs, it definitely is enough to get up there. Just we really do want to see some more buying coming down here. But if you look, 356, 355, there's been some really nice buying bursts that came in here, especially as it's been pulling up above that 350. So the fact of it kind of taking a little bit of a move towards that downside first before we end up coming back up is it shows perfectly. We're getting, a big buying with smaller amounts of riders, which really tells us we need to pull back a little bit first before we end up making that move towards the upside. SAVA, S-A-V-A, obviously from yesterday, same type of deal. We have some really great buying that came into this thing. It's almost like the same price. It was so weird yesterday. It was I don't remember ever having to do it, but trading both SAVA and VXRT at the same time, they both were almost at the exact same prices. It was just like a weird mental thing, because when you're looking at both prints, you're looking for basically the same things to be coming in. It was just very, very odd. But as you can see, pulling back from from the buying that we were seeing coming in at that 8 level. This is another one. It does have the buying to be able to break up, but unfortunately, the most of the stories from yesterday. This morning, I have not really seen anything in Sava that really gives me the indication that this thing needs to start going yet. So we definitely need, even though we already have the buying, we definitely need to see somebody come in, because if the stock is going to move, and let's just say 10, which 10 is not going to be a price target. Obviously, we're going to be looking for that double top first before we're going to go to 10. Okay, but overall, we need, if it's going to move that much, we're going to see that shorter term buying coming in. I just have not really seen it come in there yet. You have these couple of prints at 8, which is just not enough, especially, trading 1.2 million shares already. And it really, when it wants to print, it doesn't have a problem. So not seeing enough there for us to start looking for the upside yet. But once that starts to come in, definitely going to be looking for it to follow the story from yesterday. Okay, and then CCL. I kind of like CCL right now, and based off of the way that it's been trading this morning. So you can see, it took a pretty big hit, all the way down to 17, ended up popping back up. But one thing that I really did like about this is if you look, after we came back underneath that 1750, okay, most of the prints, look at these off-level prints that were coming in. I mean, you have that 1730, 1732 to 1735. I like what I've been seeing there. And even like this, a burst like that, 1739. So for a nice move up first before the market, when the market starts to come to open, even before it opens, and then a move back down towards those off-level prints that are definitely showing a short term, I'm going to be looking for a pretty decent move. And obviously we're going to start with that 17, because the reaction at that 17 double bottom is going to tell us a lot on what our expectations of the extended move is going to be. And other than that, that's pretty much what I got. We got a lot of cheaper stuff that's moving out there, which definitely like to see. But anything else out there that I missed? All right, that looks to be it. So remember, Traders Exchange today at 12:30. I will be back right around, give or take, about 10:15, 10:30, and I will see you all then. All right, happy trading.